Everybody pile on in.
As the summer heat drags on, nothing better than a sunny day on the river in the mountains. It's a place where the distractions and chaos of life leave you. You're at the mercy of the Tuckasegee River's path. A path of twists and turns. Talk about life's twists and turns. In our raft on this day, ER Doctor and Town Commissioner Ben Guinea, small business owner and Town Commissioner Natalie Newman, Cherokee author Annette Clapsaddle, and rolling around on the side, political scientist Dr. Chris Cooper. Sylva's a picturesque town with roughly 2,700 people not far from Western Carolina University. But in 2020, it found itself in the middle of a debate on the future of a Confederate statue.
I'm just wondering, are we going to come across this again?
Now, a town commissioner, Natalie Newman then helped lead efforts to get the statue removed, an effort that failed. County commissioners changed some wording and removed a flag, but left the statue in place.
It showed me the reality of being a Black woman and living in a rural area in North Carolina. It really showed me how great people can be, and it also showed me how awful people can be.
Newman moved here 11 years ago, ironically as a river guide. Just 2% of the county is Black.
I can go days sometimes without seeing someone that looks like me. So I think it's hard sometimes for people to get.
The small business owner ran and won a seat on the town commission last year.
If you watch cable TV, national stuff, I mean, you see all the bickering going on and all the stuff about all that craziness. So is that really far removed from what people care about here then, do you think?
I think that the national stuff, it affects locally as well. But I've always said that local politics is kind of where it's at, you know. This is the stuff that affects people's day-to-day life. The decision, like, it seems like not a big deal to be talking about chickens, but that's day-to-day life for a lot of people.
Yes, you heard that right. Chickens.
You know, chickens have become pretty popular, but so have some kind of, some have some kind of restrictions. So you don't have 50 chickens next door that smell bad and all that kind of stuff. Want to encourage folks to have their backyard flock, but you know, not to become a Tyson, factory farm or whatever.
Might sound silly to city slickers, but check out this packed public hearing in February.
My value is going to work, coming home, enjoying my property, enjoying my land, whether that be with chickens or bees or growing something that makes me happy. Now, when you mess with that, you mess with my welfare, you mess with my life.
That same public hearing also tackled a new social district proposal. These districts allow people to drink alcohol outside of bars and restaurants in certain areas.
You're going to allow drinking. And don't tell me 2,000 college kids isn't going to show up down here on Friday night. There's going to be urine in every corner, feces in every corner, looting. You're going to bring it in.
After a quick jump in the river to cool off, it was time to dive in with political scientist Chris Cooper.
What is the politics like around here?
There's a sort of an individualistic streak, I think, that runs throughout much of the West that you don't see in much of the rest of the state. And it's also, I think, affected by the racial dynamics. This is the least diverse congressional district in terms of race in the entire state of North Carolina.
Beyond chickens and social districts, Dr. Cooper says inflation and gas prices do matter here, but in a different way than the rest of the state.
We just did a little bit of polling in the western part of the state, and we found that people out here are engaged, they're paying attention, but they don't feel like state government is looking out for them. And you may say, sure, that's true in Raleigh too, that's true on the coast, but I think it's really true here, where we're closer to 5 other state capitals right now than we are to our own.
At the front of our raft sits the first ever published novelist from the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians.
Follow one and you would find Cherokee.
We first met Annette Clapsaddle in 2020 when her book tour was in her living room thanks to COVID.
Natalie, do you have your copy of Old Man the Sea?
She was a teacher then too, a job she just quit to write full time, but it remains a concern for her in terms of voting. She wishes teachers could spend more time teaching than worrying about rules and regulations.
I think COVID highlighted that. It highlighted what happens when our students aren't in front of really good teachers in a classroom, and you can see kind of the gaps in learning. But unfortunately, the response to that was to add on more responsibilities for teachers.
Notice what wasn't mentioned on this trip? Joe Biden or Donald Trump. It's clearly a factor like everywhere else, but local issues are dominant here on the river and in town.